Hello, and this is Bogus Reviews. And today I'm back from my hiatus because I've been very sick lately. And I still have a little bit of a cold, so if I sound stuffy, that's why. But I've been wanting to get back to reviews, so I thought today I'd do a Throwback Thursday. So today, my Throwback Thursday is going to be to 2004. It's the Ozzy Bark at the Moon figure by McFarlane Toys. Now, I think this figure is really awesome, and McFarlane Toys did an amazing job capturing the likeness of Ozzy from the video Bark at the Moon. And this base is really awesome that he comes on, too. So, before we take a look at Ozzy, let's take a look at his base. So, right here, you get his name. And I really love how this looks like a dead forest, like all these dead trees. And I think they look real, too. I think that's really awesome that they look so realistic. There's lots of sculpting going on in all of the trees here. And they're dark brown and have a dry brushing of gray and light brown over them. It just gives it a lot of contrast, too. It's got a lot of sculpting on the base itself, like on the ground, too. There's dead trees that have been chopped down, and rocks, and this skeleton. I think this skeleton looks really awesome. It's kind of a cream color with a dry brushing of brown and black over it. Really makes it gives it a look like it's decaying, like it's been there quite a long time. And it's made of a soft rubbery plastic. So it isn't removable from the base, but it is very flexible, so you don't have to worry about breaking it. I also love how the color difference looks on the base. The base is a dark gray, and it has a dry brushing of light gray and dark black, or just black over it. So I think that looks really nice. You can see where the black is. I just love this whole base, and you don't see that anymore with figures. And if they do come with bases like the collar tops, they're just like this big. Which I really think that McFarlane Toys should do music figures in collar tops. I think that would do really well. But I don't know. So, for the likeness, I think McFarlane Toys did an amazing job just capturing the likeness of Ozzy in this video. Because in the video, he turns into a werewolf. And I think this looks like Ozzy, and I think it looks like him from the video, too. So, that's just really awesome. There's lots of detail. His eyes are painted on very nicely. He has the dark circles around his eyes, the black around his eyes. I think that looks really awesome. His mouth is open, so you can see his teeth and his tongue, and it's all sculpted on, not painted. Well, it is painted, but it's painted and sculpted. So I think that looks really awesome. And his hair is sculpted nicely, too, and it's a very soft rubber, so he's really like a collar top because he's kind of battle pose, is what I like to call it, how they're kind of just stuck in one position. But he does have articulation, so you do have a little more options of displaying him the way he's posed. So, his hair is dark brown and has a dry brushing of light brown over it. So I think that looks really nice. And since his hair is that really flexible, kind of rubbery, kind of plastic, you can really move his head. It gives him more articulation. And his fur is sculpted on nicely too. It has a dry brushing of dark brown and black over it, over the light brown. It's kind of a sandy brown, his fur and hair. So I consider it light brown though. He's got lots of scars and scratches sculpted into his back. I think that looks really awesome. Makes it look like he's been hunted, just like he's been through a lot. And he has more fur sculpted onto his arms. I think that looks awesome. Now, there's a lot of detail going on his hands. And he really, really needs to trim those fingernails. That's nasty. And he's got a dry brushing of brown, like dirt, all over his fingernails and his hands to make it look dirty. Like there's even actually a little bit of black on his fingers and under his fingernails. That's why he definitely needs to trim his fingernails. That cannot be sanitary at all. It's the same way on this hand. I just love the attention to detail on this figure. How it's got all the shifting collars and how, like, there's even veins sculpted into his hands right here. You can see the vein running right there. That just looks really, really awesome. And his pants are black. It has a dry brushing of gray over the wrinkles. I just think that looks really awesome. All throughout it has that dry brushing of gray over it. And it has a texture to it too. It's got kind of like a sweater texture to it. So I really like that. The attention to detail, the sculpting, the painting on this figure is just awesome. On his knee there, he's got like a scar or something. It almost looks like a bruise. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks really awesome. And his feet are sculpted very nicely. Got lots of veins sticking out in his feet. And he has fur right there on his shin. And he has long toenails that have a dry brushing of dark gray over light gray. So I think that looks really awesome. Even the bottom of his feet are sculpted. I actually thought they'd be just flat. Like they'd just have a peg hole or something and they'd just be flat. But there's actually sculpting detail. He's got cuts and scrapes and dirt all over the bottom of his feet. And then there's a peg hole because there's a peg on his base that you can plug him into, and I will show that in just a second. So now I'm going to go over his articulation. Like I said, it is limited, but it does give you a little bit more options to display him. He's got a swivel head that can move that far to the right, that far to the left. He's got a swivel at the bicep that can move all the way around. Well, just about. I don't think you're going to get him in that position. And he's got a swivel at the wrist. It's the same with this side. He has a swivel just about the elbow. It can just move like that. While I was moving that, that reminded me, he kind of looks like John Cena, like, you can't see me. He's got a swivel at the wrist and a swivel at the waist. And I thought there was actually articulation on his feet, but there isn't. So that gives you some options for displaying him. Like, I like posing him like this. But you can pose it however you want it. I just think this is a really awesome piece. And it's held up, too. It's held up through the test of time. Because this is from 2004. So, this figure is really awesome. And then here's the peg, and you just port it into his right foot. It plugs in like that. So, there you go. There's Ozzy on his base. So, I would highly recommend this figure. It actually might be hard to find because I actually got this when it came out in 2004. So, if you can find it, I would highly recommend it because it's highly detailed, it's sculpted nicely, it's painted nicely, and the likeness is 100% accurate. So, McFarlane Toys did an astonishing job on this figure. So, that's my review. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.